Welcome everybody to my League 2 preview. Apologies that I haven't done these last couple of weeks. I have been a bit sloppy when it comes to the predictions, haven't I? But I will get back to that fairly soon. In the next couple of weeks they'll be back to fluid regularity. In the meantime though, let's talk about this weekend's League 2 fixtures. Again, I'll give you a prediction for the Grimsby match, but there will be a full prediction on the Grimsby game later on my channel. So look out for that. Do hit that like button. Do hit the subscribe button if you are a Grimsby fan, and to get the lowdown on that upcoming game. But I will give you an early prediction, which may change by the time the game comes out, but early prediction on what I think will happen in Grimsby's game over the weekend. So we'll get this week's league predictions sorted. In the comments down below, do leave me yours. If you are a League 2 fan, do leave me your predictions down below and let me know what you think, and we'll have a bit of a discussion. So first off, we will start with the Friday night game. The Friday night game happens to be Salford City as they host Notts County. Now, Notts County are in second place, 14 points from the opening 7 games, winning 4 and drawing 2 and losing the 1. They have not lost since the opening day, when they lost 5-1 at Sutton. And Notts have been flying since then. And they're up there and perform very well. Salford, however, I don't think they've had the start that I think they expected to have. Only 2 wins from the first 7 matches, losing the last 3 on the bounce. Only scoring 9 goals so far this season, conceding 11 goals. They are at home this weekend though, but the previous results for both teams, obviously Notts County, see if we can find the result here. Yeah, they got a 1-1 draw at the MK Dons. Well, of course, Salford didn't have the best of times. They lost 2-1 at home to Walsall. So Salford's home form not really been as good as they would have liked. Their form in general not as good as they would have liked. Do you know what? I fancy Notts for this. Notts County, they're coming in here full of confidence. Only 1 defeat, like I said, so far against Sutton. I do fancy them to get a win over Salford. So much so I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for Notts County at Salford. Now that might be a bit far-fetched, but at the minute they haven't really got themselves going. I mean, they've had Matt Smith up front, who is always a threat for Salford, but McCoy Langstaff has started to score for Notts County. Jody Jones, they've got a lot of threats in their team, Notts, and I expect them to dispose of Salford fairly comfortably, really. And that's not being harsh to any Salford fan at all. But at the minute, Salford need to get going, because they have not started the way they would have liked. So 3-0 for me for Notts County for Friday's game. I do expect them to like I said, get a fairly comfortable win. Now we move on to the Saturday matches. So these are all the games that will be taking place on Saturday, and they all kick off at 3 p.m. By the way, the Salford Notts County game is a 7:45 kick-off. The rest of the games on the Saturday all kick off at 3 p.m. And now I'm going to take you through those. First of all, Accrington Stanley up against Sutton United. Now, Accrington had a very, very solid start to the season. This just shows how tight the league is. They're 15th with 10 points. Shows you how tight this league is, But Sutton, second bottom, still only the one win, which was against Notts County. They've had 6 draws, 6 losses. Sorry, they haven't drew a game. 6 draws. They've only got 3 points. Hey, look at the table. But so Sutton, a real big outfit in the way of size this year for Sutton. But for some reason, they just seem to be coming unglued at the minute, and it's a bit of a surprise. I mean, Accrington, are not an easy game to have to play anyway. But last time out, Accrington were very disappointing with a 3-0 defeat to, like I said, probably the best team I've seen in League Two so far this season, Mansfield Town. They lost 3-0 there, whereas Sutton lost 5-3 at free-scoring Swindon. And you just feel that Sutton can be dangerous, but you just wonder whether they've got the firepower created. Now, Craig Clay scored last weekend. Still not enough to get them the win over Swindon. This is a difficult one, this. It is in one way, but again, I know it's going to seem like I'm being boring and I'm going for the simple choice. I can't really go any other way but an Accrington Stanley win. I am going to go for a tight win though. Accrington Stanley to win the game by 2-1. Sutton though really do need the points because they are struggling right now and they need to get even a point would do Sutton to get themselves going again. But we shall see. But 2-1 for me for Accrington as they host Sutton. The third game is AFC Wimbledon as they host Crewe Alexandra. Now the league table as it stands for these two, Crewe are again probably doing better maybe than people expected. They are 6th with 12 points. They've won their last 2 matches. They have scored 17 goals so far this season, conceding 11. And Wimbledon really having a very, very good season in general. They're in 11th place with 10 points. Did lose last time out. So much so, I will take you through what happened in the last fixtures for both teams. And Wimbledon, of course, lost 2-1 to Stockport County. And Crewe won their last game 4-1 at Forest Green Rovers. Crewe looking dangerous, looking like a real good outfit. Better than, like I said, people probably expected. Definitely how I expected them to start. Wimbledon, though, probably one of the surprise packages early on. They've dropped down to where they are 10th, but they've had a very, very solid start and no embarrassment losing to Stockport County, not with the riches that Stockport have had in the past. This is a tricky one. I think I'm going to go for a draw on this. I fancy a 1-1 draw between Wimbledon and Crewe. You have that feel of that's what it's going to be, but we shall see. So I'm going to go 1-1. Like I said, James Tilley is on an absolute romp at the minute for Wimbledon. He's scoring the goals. James Tilley, a decent player, and he's starting to show his worth for Wimbledon. So a 1-1 draw for me. 2 good sides, and I think it'll be a good game down there in Wimbledon. Next game up is Bradford City as they host Harrogate Town. Now Bradford City last time out drew 1-1, got a late equaliser against the Mariners of Grimsby Town. And so they are probably, again, they're not where they want to be, Bradford. Harrogate doing what you'd expect Harrogate to do. I mean, at the moment, Bradford are, like I said, not as high as they would like to be. In fact, they're 16th with 9 points. And Harrogate just above the drop zone in 21st. 2 wins for them, though. 5 defeats. Bradford have gone 2 wins, 3 draws, and 2 defeats with a -2 goal difference. Bradford at the minute are really struggling for goals. It was a real good shot that got the equaliser against the Mariners last weekend. Great strike, but really throughout most of that game they didn't really look like scoring. They were doing a lot of territory, but they didn't really have a great deal of clear-cut chances. And you know, there is a chance here for Harrogate if they can just put a couple of goals together. Obviously, Harrogate's last result, which took place last week, Harrogate lost only 1-0 at Gillingham. And it was a poor game, apparently. I was hearing the updates on Soccer Saturday, and it sounded like a pretty poor game, to be in truth. Gillingham nicked the game very, very late, but Gillingham won't care about that. Harrogate have been in a lot of the games. I think that is the encouragement for Harrogate. They are in games. And they're a team I'm hopeful will stay in League Two, but obviously they're going to want to get some points quite early on, I think. But a narrow defeat last week for Harrogate. Will they do it again? I fancy them to. I fancy another draw here, actually. Only due to the fact that Bradford, they don't score a lot of goals right now. They need to start scoring goals to finish teams off. And I'm going to go for a second straight 1-1 draw between Harrogate and Bradford. And I think Harrogate would, I'm sure they want the win, but I'm sure the fans would be happy if Harrogate got a draw there. Bradford, that they need to find their feet, they need to find it quickly. But I'm sure at some point they will turn that round. Next game, though, Colchester United hosting Mansfield Town. Now, anyone else, I would honestly say Colchester would have a chance. They did win last time out against a poor Tranmere Rovers side. Mansfield obviously getting that big win 3-0 against Accrington. Colchester are getting results where you don't expect them to. But this is a difficult game against Mansfield. Like I said, Mansfield are one of the best teams that I've seen play this season. And it is hard to see Colchester getting anything from this, but no one thought they'd beat Gillingham a couple of weeks ago. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility, but I think the quality that Mansfield have got and the quality of football that they play, I think will just be enough for Mansfield to get over the line against Colchester. In regards to league positions so far in the campaign, Mansfield are actually in the top 3, and I'm not surprised by that. Like I said, yet to lose this season. Won 3 and drew 4. Scored 14 goals, conceded 7. No surprise there. And Colchester, obviously 20th. 2 wins out of the last 3, I believe, is for Colchester. So they are improving. 6 points from them, just above the drop line by 3 points. And like I said, I'm gonna go 3-1 for Mansfield. I just don't see. I think Mansfield will have too much. Watch me get that so wrong. But for me, Colchester United 1, Mansfield Town 3 for moi. The next game will be Crawley Town up against Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere are absolutely... I won't call it dire straits right at this moment, but they really are in some very poor form. Like I said, Tranmere Rovers last time out lost at Colchester, and deservedly so, apparently. And Crawley, battling Crawley, I call them, although they were battering Crawley last week when they won 4-1 at home to Newport. I don't think anyone could see that result coming. And obviously Tranmere have got Nigel Atkins is in there basically to try and steady the ship at Tranmere. He's the head of football there, I believe, football recruitment there, I think. And it's difficult because Crawley, they could be surprise team of the season, really. Being at home, I think you've got to fancy the home side, especially against Tranmere right now. So much so, I'm going to. And Crawley, like I said, they've started quite well over in the season. In 10th place, 11 points, and Tranmere Rovers just on goal difference outside the bottom two. Danilo Orsi is a very tricky striker. Started well at Crawley, to be honest, after his release by Grimsby Town. They've got a couple of players that I think are surprising people. I fancy them to beat Tranmere. I'm going to say fairly comfortably. I'm going to say 2-0 to Crawley Town. And this league, I called it last week to a friend of mine. I said this league's ridiculous. And I mean that in the best possible sense. In the regards that anybody is taking points off anybody right now. Nobody's a pushover, but I have to admit, Tranmere have been poor lately, and I do expect Crawley to win 2-0 fairly comfortably, I would say, against Tranmere. Watch Tranmere now going absolutely King Crawley, but in my honest opinion, I think it will be a Crawley win. Next, two struggling sides as Forest Green host Doncaster Rovers. Everybody had Doncaster Rovers to be in and around it so far. They may still be come the end of the season, but with the kind of start they've had, you really early on start to worry. Donny fans, are you worried? Are you guys worried about what's happening at your club? I mean, last time out for Doncaster Rovers, let's see if we can find them here. Here they are. Yes, they lost 2-1 at Wrexham. Apologies there. Where I found the information on the results website. And yes, they lost 2-1 at Wrexham last time out. Forest Green Rovers obviously getting that thumping at home to Crewe. They just haven't got to grips, have they? Forest Green Rovers. It's a difficult game, but I am gonna say that this will be Doncaster's first win, because if there's a team that's free falling, it's Forest Green Rovers, and Doncaster, to be fair to them, were really in that game against Wrexham that they weren't overawed by them. I think something is turning, and I think for Doncaster, I think this is the perfect game for them, really. And I'm actually going to go for them to win fairly comfortably. I'm actually going to go for Forest Green Rovers Forest Green Rovers 1, Doncaster Rovers 3. I really do think that Donny could get their first win of the season, because if we do look at the league position right now for both sides, Doncaster Rovers are bottom with only 2 points, but they have played well in spells in games. They're just not getting the results right now. Forest Green Rovers are in 19th on on 7 points, but they only scored 5 goals this campaign. They just, they just really are struggling for goals, but not ready to concede. In fact, they've scored the same amount of goals as Doncaster, but I sense a bit more from Doncaster. So I'll be surprised if not. So my prediction again is Forest Green Rovers 1, Doncaster Rovers 3. So I hope Forest Green fans don't come at me, but I honestly, at the minute, I think they're in real serious freefall. Let's see if they can turn it around on Saturday. Next game is Gillingham as they host Morecambe. Gillingham, you don't know what Gillingham you're going to get. I mean, the Gillingham that I saw when they came to Blundell Park, poor. But, out of the games they've played, so far this season, the games they've won by 1-0. So, to be fair, if they can keep it tight and close, then they could do it. But we'll have to wait and see on that one, really. As we look at Morecambe, who, to be honest, they did play, didn't they? Didn't play for some reason. I can't find them. But Morecambe are, like I said, they're a good side. I can't seem to find their score, but from last time. But Morecambe, so a decent start to the season for them. Gillingham are top unbelievably, only scoring 5 goals this season. They've conceded 5, but like I said, 5 of those, all 5 wins has been by 1-0. So that is sort of dangerous. In Morecambe, solid beginning, 10 points. They did win last time out, and so if you can put Gillingham under pressure, then there is every, I believe there's every possible chance that they could do it. And I don't know with this one. Is it going to be another 1-0 game for Gillingham? No, I fancy Morecambe to score. I'm actually going to go for a Morecambe win here. I'm going with my gut. They say you to go with your gut, so I'm going with my gut. Morecambe with a 2-1 win over Gillingham, but Gillingham have a very tight defence, but they're not clinical in front of goals. So if Morecambe can put them under pressure, who knows? So I'm going to go for a Morecambe 2-1 win. Next game, the MK Dons host Stockport County. Probably the game of the weekend, possibly. There could be another one along the way. But MK Dons, they got a 1-1 draw last time out. And I think against Notts County. And Stockport getting that to 2-1 win, which they needed, or they'll feel they needed, and they did get. So I think this is a at the minute Milton Keynes Dons, they seem more confident, I think, than Stockport, but they are starting to starting to find themselves again, and like I said, they've got a lot of threats at Stockport. You can't underestimate them, even though they haven't made the start they would have wanted to have done. So much so it says that in the league table, as we see, MK Dons are in 4th. So they are really flying at the moment. 13 points from their opening 7 matches. And I think is just Stockport are 17th. Like I said, they haven't made the start that they would have wanted. But this is a difficult game for the MK Dons. So I'm going to go surprisingly, for a Stockport win. Why? I just have this feeling. But MK Dons are good at home. But I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win for Stockport County to get to really get up into the mix, I think. And with this league, it's not impossible. So 2-1 for me for Stockport County. Newport County now hosts Barrow. Newport are up and down. They're kind of like, they're having a couple of decent results. Then they're having a couple of results that probably are a little bit, a bit surprising at times. Newport County in 13th with 10 points. They've already conceded 14 goals this season, while scoring 15. I know that Ben Morris has been impressing for Newport. Omar Bogle as well has been chipping in with a couple of goals for Newport. I mentioned them being two former Grimsby Town players. They've won 3 games so far this season, so they've done. Admit they're doing better than I expected. So but obviously losing last time out, would make them think, oh. But this just shows you how tight it is as they play Barrow, who are in 8th. They're only a point ahead of them. And that just sort of tells you that, I've got an interesting stat for you right at the end of this video, which is quite outstanding. Barrow, basically 3 wins out of the first 6, drawing 2 and losing only 1, scoring 7 goals, conceding 5 goals. Barrow, a very, very tricky team, and they are carrying on from what they were doing last season, to be fair to Barrow. I fancy them to get the win here against Newport. I fancy Barrow with a 2-1 win over Newport. You just have to appreciate Pete Wild. I mean, I think that his Barrow sides are such a difficult team to beat, and even though Newport is not an easy place to go, I do fancy Barrow to go there and get a result. They have done great. I mean, so far they are in 8th, I believe. Yes, they are 8th. So it shows that they're carrying on with the form from last year. I don't think people thought they'd do that, but I think they will be in the top 7 come the end of play Saturday. As I said, with a 2-1 win against Newport County. Watch me get all these wrong. Next, free flowing Swindon Town up against an up and down Walsall team. Now this is a big game for both sides, as Swindon are managed by the former Newport and Walsall manager Michael Flynn. Didn't really work for Michael at Walsall. I've always liked Michael Flynn when he was at Newport. Very, very, very good manager for this level, and I don't think he got the fair rub at Walsall. I know some Walsall fans don't agree, and some Walsall fans do agree. But no, I like Mickey Flynn. He gets results, and he's shown that he can be an attacking team. And I was talking to a Walsall fan earlier, and they were saying really that they don't know why they didn't get this version of Michael Flynn at Walsall. Could it be the recruitment that he had to work with? He couldn't play this style, but he's playing a very open style. So much so, Swindon Town in 6 games have already scored 20 goals. More than I think anybody in English football near enough. 20 goals in the first 6 matches, winning 3 of them and drawing 3 of them, still unbeaten. And I'm sure, Michael Flynn will, be wanting to get one over on his former employers at Walsall. Obviously, Walsall are doing fairly well for themselves, to be honest. Matt Sadler, obviously former coach under Michael Flynn, and former Sadler himself. Matt Sadler, got a very good win last time out against Salford. So they can take that, a lot of pleasure in that and a lot of confidence going into that. By the look of Swindon, I mean, Swindon scored 5 goals last week as well. 5-3 over Sutton, like I said earlier in the video. I've got to go Swindon. Walsall, if they are going to win this game, they've got to keep the back door shut. Because the way Swindon are attacking at the moment, it looks like they could score 6 or 7 every game if they had the chance. But they will have chances with Swindon's defence, because as good as they have been going forward, they haven't been making it hard work for themselves, but they haven't lost yet, so there you go. I am going to go for a high-scoring game here. I'm actually going to go for Swindon to knock a few more in. I'm going to go for a Swindon win. Only being at home is the main reason why I'm doing that. I'm going to go a 4-2 win for Swindon. But I do think if you want goals at the minute, Swindon is the place to go to, isn't it? But I'm going to go for a 4-2 win. I think Mickey Flynn will get his revenge on his former employers. And just the way they're scoring goals right now, I think a lot of teams will be struggling to stop Swindon. So 4-2 in my opinion. And the last game for this week, there will be a proper match preview coming up for this game. It's obviously my team, Michael Grimsby Town. We head towards wonderful buddies at Wrexham. Oh, how we love the Wrexham fans, and we do, to be honest. We love the Wrexham fans. Obviously, Hollywood FC, as they're called. Obviously, the last time we played Wrexham fans, or Wrexham themselves, the Wrexham fans don't like to be reminded. But last time we did play them, obviously we beat them at the racecourse ground 5-4 in extra time in the National League semi-finals. Luke Ward 4 with the last minute winner. Sorry to keep reminding you, Wrexham fans. There you go. But they have come into the league. Didn't start as well as they thought. You know, they've they played 7 games. They did lose on the opening day in another belter, 5-3 to the MK Dons. They haven't lost since, though. They've drew 3 and won 3. Last time out, they won as well. So they're going to be very, very confident on that. And Grimsby got the 1-1 draw. Danny Rose got the goal there. Like I said, my prediction for this is a tight one. My early prediction for this game is I'm going to say we're now only going to do it. You know, I think, you know, and people say that's bias. No, I do think we can get at their back line. I think, but we will need to score more than one. Grimsby struggle to score more than one goal, especially away from home. But yeah, the early indications are I'm going to go Wrexham 1, Grimsby Town 2. But I think it's going to be a great atmosphere at Wrexham. They're a great bunch of fans. They're a great club as well. So let the best team win in that one, shall we say? But I'll just show you where the teams are in the league. Wrexham are in 7th on 12 points. Grimsby are 12th on 10 points. So there really isn't a lot between them in goals, I would say, really. Well, in goals, there's actually There's quite a few, Dean. There's 8. But obviously in points, there's only 2 points. So, again, it just shows you how tight this league is being. I'm saying a 2-1 win, which is my early prediction. But if you are a Grimsby Town fan or you're a Wrexham fan, look out for my full match preview, which will be coming up very soon, between Wrexham and Grimsby Town. But I am saying 2-1 to the Mariners in Wales. Now, that is the end of this prediction video. This is for League 2 supporters. Let me know down below and on social media what you think the result is going to be. I will start doing these again more regularly once everything is calmed down my end. And we'll be back for next week's though, I can assure you of that. And yeah, please do share. Please do like. Please do hit that subscribe button. Please do hit the bell. That'll let you know when I upload some new content and some a new video. And until then, adios amigos, adios guys, and have a good week, and I'll see you guys very, very soon with another video. Bye bye. If you go into League 2 game, go and enjoy it and sing your hearts out. Go for it.